Alright, I wanted to record this video really quick because I came across this quote online and I've seen it surfaced for so many years, and I think it's a great quote, but there's definitely some drawbacks to it of people using it. So the quote is something along the lines of like, it's Abraham Lincoln, and he says, if I had 8 hours to chop down a tree, I'd spend the first 6 hours sharpening my axe. And one of the first things I thought of was like, yeah, that's great, you know, like obviously you want like the sharper weapon, it's going to make the time to chop down the tree quicker, right? It's a basic principle. And then like the longer I thought about it, I was like, 6 hours? How fucking shit is your axe? Like, wow, that must be a shit axe. Like, what is the axe made out of? Is it a fucking butter knife? Do you know what I mean? Like, how shit is your axe? But then I thought more about it, and I was like, no, it's still a good quote. Like, fucking 6 hours though. You're better off doing it, you know, so like sharpen it for an hour, chop the fucking tree some more, sharpen it again, because the idea is it's not just like having a sharp axe, right? The sharp axe is you. The axe is you. Do you want to be sharper or blunt? So what it means is basically it's like give yourself time to rest. Like instead of big fucking swings, it's just like, you know, little like sandpaper, or I don't know what the fuck they use to sharpen an axe really, but just so whatever the fuck sharpens it really, or as file. But the idea is like you get some rest. So then not only is your axe, your physical axe sharper, your actual axe, your body or your mind, whatever it is sharper. So I've just come off of doing what I call batch B. That was batch B of my content. I recorded 85 clips in one day. If you want to know how I did it, there's a video coming up soon. I'm going to shoot for 100 for batch C. But anyway, the point I'm trying to get to is it's taken me like 2 weeks to do this shit because it's so long and so boring. And I finally did it. And I'm taking today is Saturday. And I'm taking it's Saturday the 11th of October. It's not going to be uploaded today, but and then I'm going to take the Sunday off as well. Not to do nothing. That's the difference. It's not to go be lazy and just watch Netflix all day. But the idea is like, just take a minute to decompress, regather your energy, sharpen the axe. But I'm going to do that by actually thinking about what went really well and what was shit. What was I doing that was really bad? Procrastinating, focusing on shit that didn't matter, letting my energy spike, going to bed too late, having terrible habits, not eating good, missing things, blah, blah, blah. Whatever it was, just get it all down, analyze it, compartmentalize it, go for batch C. And that's the idea of sharpening the axe. But the bit that made me laugh and I wanted to get to was, I think like everyone loves to quote quotes because it makes them feel like superior, intelligent, or whatever. But I would argue that the intelligent person is the one who actually uses the quote and not just parrots the quotes. Like I've got like an absolute mind of quotes and frameworks now. I've watched like too many Alex Hormozy videos, and then over my years I've read like a shitload of books. There's probably like maybe 100 books on my bookshelf. I'll do a video on those at some point. But yeah, I've memorized quotes and from all sorts of people, and you know the ones I understand the most are the ones that I've like used, not spoken out loud used, but actually like took action on. You know, I'll give you an example. Rich Dad Poor Dad was one of the first self-help books I read, and I remember I was like audiobooking it on the way back and forth to the warehouse when I was working there. And one of the things he said was like, pay yourself first. And I was like, pay yourself? I was like, I don't even get how that works. I'm trying to think about it, which was good because you're using your mental muscle. And he's explaining it, and then you try and Google it as well, see what other people mean. Maybe you watch a video a year later, someone talking about it. And what they mean is like, when you get your paycheck, obviously, yeah, don't be an idiot and blow all your money. Like if you're making, I don't know, let's just say $2,000 a month. We're not going to account for tax, which would be like 1,800. But it's like, okay, your rent is 1,000, maybe some food, groceries is like 500, and then you've got like £500 to play with. It's like the first thing you should do within your budget is like, right, go, just pay myself £100 to invest in stocks or in mentorship or courses, whatever the fuck it is, to get my own learning first. If you always treat investments last, they will always feel terrifying. Like, oh no, this is a waste of money because I should be eating, I should be paying for my car, when it's like realistically the thing that's actually going to make you more money is paying yourself first. And the concept is once you actually do that shit, because I did, as soon as my payment came in, I'd like put it in some crypto. Once you do that shit, you start to compartmentalize it and understand it not just in money, in other things. It's like, say with business and stuff, sometimes like the best thing you can do is pay yourself first in terms of like maybe it's working on yourself. Like say you get up at 4, 5, 6 in the morning, 4 a.m. is fucking goated. But say like from 4 a.m. to 8 a.m, you pay yourself first. You do all the work for you. For Harry, do you know what I mean? Whether that's going to the gym, working on your own shit, working on your own business, whatever the fuck. Doing stuff for you before you touch any client work, any outreach shit you don't want to do. That way, you've invested 4 hours into your own self. You paid yourself first. And the only reason I can talk about it this confidently and coherently is because I've done it. I didn't just parrot it. And another one, I'll give you a quick example, is like dollar cost averaging. I'm not going to talk about how much I've put in and my gains over the years. Maybe I will like later on when I'm out of those numbers or whatever. Because you shouldn't really talk about your own money online. It's a little lesson for you. Be careful because you never know who's listening. But dollar cost averaging a certain amount and just reading it, be like, oh yeah, just if you know, everyone reads it in an investing book, a crypto book. Here's a YouTuber say it, and I could say it to my brother, like, oh, brother, like you just need to dollar cost average. Oh, it's so much safer. And you can kind of reason with it. You can get the logic. All right. But I'm the one that actually did it for 2 years. I learned what happens when you do it. Oh, you get to watch the market go like, and you get to experience like the emotional volatility of it all. But because I dollar cost average and the whole thing is like reduces risk, as I would see it go down, I'm like, because I've not invested, this is another like mini lesson like attached on, because I've not invested more than I can afford to lose, I get to watch it go like this and I'm like, I'm good. I don't need to sell out now. I'm playing for the long game. Everyone who invested short and who leveraged trading, they got fucked because they invested more than they could afford to lose. You know, they've got retail, has like houses, they got to pay off rent, whatever. I was like, I don't have none of that. And so I got to like practice, do not panic, get used to unemotionally being involved with it. Just look at it and be like today, or was it yesterday, the worst crypto day ever. Like all the markets just went like, and yeah, it sucks even for me, seeing your portfolio like snap in half, but you just like, cool. We knew this was a thing. I'm very calm about it because I dollar cost average. I took the advice from the book and actually used it. So I think the main thing I'm trying to get is like, don't just parrot quotes, actually try and use them. Like Atomic Habits, that was the first self-help book I read, and then the Goggins one. I'm still trying to learn from Atomic Habits, and I think this year, and especially next year, I'm going to actually take the time to like study it more. Luke Belmar, I studied, bro. But really understand the intricacies of like habits, because when you first watching it, you're probably like fat, overweight, skinny, or you're still going to the gym, but you kind of shit and maybe you like smoke and vape and do whatever. And then it's not until you actually like try and, because when he says, oh, you need to create a system, you don't even know what a fucking system is. You're just like, oh yeah, like, I'm gonna do these habits. I'm gonna like brush my teeth good while I like take a shit. It's gonna be super good. And it's like, you don't even know what you're doing, which is fine. It's the ignorance tax you've got to pay off. But whereas now I'm understanding more and more what a system is. Like, I'll give you an example with a content agency. Right now, it's just me and ChatGPT. So a system, so on this isn't a system. Me is, I try and outreach, I try and make my own content. I have to edit everything. I then have to post it. If anyone does DM, or I have to DM people, I have to comment. And then if I do get a client, I have to do all the delivery, blah, 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 blah. A system is something that runs without you. So it's a single unit of output is created through a system of inputs. So it's like one input could create 400 outputs or units of output. So if I get a client, I go, right, I'm going to pay a VA so they can handle all the bullshit. I'm going to pay an editor so they can handle all that bullshit. And then we're going to get the client in. So then how it works is like, I can be separate from it. All I have to do is maybe like look at retention, look at some analytics, and I can see, right, clients come in, VA has handled the onboarding. Obviously, I'd have to have a call, and that's fine. Come into the system. Yep, here's all the shit you need to know. Blah blah blah. The client, we need this from you. Client records. You know, VA sorts the script. They're paying someone to write the script, get the script. The VA sends it to the client. The client records it. We send it to the editor. Editor does it. VA looks at it. I look at it. Pass it back to the client, or we post it. Like the VA posts it for them. And it's like you're trying to remove yourself as much as you can. So instead of you having to pack tins of beans, you've got a robot arm doing it for you. So now instead of your work relying on you being there, it's like that is now a system. You can just watch it go and put the beans, tin, boom. Hopefully that explains it a little bit more. My definition and articulation of what a system is will improve over time as well. So like, you know, this won't be the last time I talk about systems, because I can be like humble enough to realize I don't know everything, and I never will, and I don't want to, because it's more fun learning. And like, can you improve your definition of a system and help someone understand it who has never heard of a system? But yeah, it's pretty much that. Is like, you've got to build systems. So I know I went off on a tangent about Atomic Habits. I've been training this to go back off tangents and then come straight back. So we're on about fucking Abraham Lincoln and his stupid axe. But the main point is like, you have to be aware, like, you don't know shit, and it's like, that's why I'm going to go back and revisit Atomic Habits. And, you know, there's more work to be done, more stuff to be understood about systems, and and quotes. It's all good just saying like, oh, you know, you need to go to the atomic level and sort your shit out there. But one of the ones I've actually found really useful from Atomic Habits is, don't say, if someone offers you a cigarette on a night out and you know, you've been a smoking addict and you're trying to quit, you don't say, oh, you know, no, I'm quitting, you know, I'm quitting. It's like, no, thank you. It's very easy for them to be like, come on, it's just one, because they want to share their bad habit with you. Versus if you just say, no, sorry, I'm not a smoker, it's very hard for them to convince you. You know, they go, oh, well, you know, have you smoked before? And you're like, no, I'm not interested in starting now, thank you. It's very just, you know, there's no, you don't go, oh, I used to smoke. It's like, no, I'm not a smoker anymore. So it's the same thing with reading. For me, is I'm not, like, I don't care for arbitrary numbers. Like, I've read 100 books this year, and I'm going to make a video about that because I think it's kind of interesting and hopefully it can help you guys. But I couldn't give a fuck about the number 100. I've read like 102 books this year, not just 100. I read 2 more. I'm still reading because I'm not someone that reads books. I'm a reader. I enjoy the act of reading. I enjoy the act of living fantasy land, or even like a self-help book through the eye of someone else's lived experiences. And that's why I love reading. I'm a reader. I'm not a person that reads books. I'm a reader. So, identity, all that shit. Point being, stop just quoting stuff and actually take action on the quotes. That way you'll actually understand what they mean. And some of the best things is like, then you kind of actually can get to come up with your own quotes. And that's the beauty of it. And then you can help other people. But that's all I've got time for. Today's video, I'm going to go get a haircut in a minute. Hopefully you found it useful. If you did, just make sure to drop a like, maybe leave a comment, something cheeky, something funny. Roast me if you want, I don't mind, whatever. We're all in good spirits here. And if you want to see my Instagram, just type in on Instagram, HarryLeadbeater_, and it'll be the purple profile of me, like, trying to look too serious. But yeah, thank you very much. I'll see you in the next one.